Nothing sticks to these pans. Everything just slips and slides. It's like cooking on air. You can chop right inside them without making any scratches. Even use electric metal beaters and everything slides right out, not even a scratch. Plus, they're oven safe. Great for pot roasts or baking all the way up to 500 degrees. Even flames won't damage these pans. The entire Stackmaster set is dishwasher safe and made without any harmful PFOAs. Some high-end cookware sells for close to $500, but you won't pay that. Not $400, $300, or even $200. Today, through this special TV offer, get the full 10-piece Stackmaster cookware set for the factory direct price of just 5 payments of $39.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. And if you call or click to order today, we're going to drop 1 payment. You'll get it all for just 4 payments of $39.99, and we'll even guarantee it for a full 10 years. Plus, as a free bonus, you'll get our Stackmaster fry basket and stainless steel steamer insert. But there's even more. We'll also send you our 5-piece utensil set. It includes every utensil you'll ever need in the kitchen. Together, these are a $60 value. Yours 100% free. That's a complete 17-piece set, a huge value, for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. And we'll even ship it to you free. Call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-504-6205 or go online to GothamStackmaster.com. So call 1-800-504-6205. That's 1-800-504-6205 or go to GothamStackmaster.com.
On the road again.
Book 2 separate qualifying stays and earn a free night. The open road is open again, and wherever you're headed, Choice Hotels is there. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
My patients, I often see them have teeth sensitivity as well as gum issues. Does it worry me? Absolutely. They are both very much hand in hand, so you should really be focusing on both, and definitely at the same time. Sensodyne sensitivity and gum gives us a dual action effect that really takes care of both our teeth sensitivity as well as our gum issues. By brushing with Sensodyne sensitivity and gum at home, it's giving you the relief that you need and the control that you need to take care of your oral health. And it creates a healthier environment. There's no question it's something that I would recommend.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person. So we asked one of our families to help us make this commercial about that deal. Safely feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 mix and match deal.
Welcome back into our continuing coverage of Hurricane Laura, a Category 1 storm turning in the Gulf right now, but taking aim at the northwest Gulf Coast as what will be a major hurricane. We're spread out all over the place to give you the latest. We've got meteorologist Tevin Wooten. He's coming to you live from Lake Charles. We've got meteorologist Jackie Jarris back at headquarters in Atlanta alongside storm specialist Carl Parker. Now meteorologist Felicia Combs coming to you live from Houston, Texas, one of the places that's going to be feeling impacts of this storm within the next 24 hours. Now, if you are trying to get prepared in the Houston area, a couple things that you should know. The main threat for, say, Houston and a lot of the inland places impacted with this storm is going to be the wind threat. We listened to the governor earlier, and he spoke about that.
You need to be prepared for the possibility, if not the probability, that you will be losing power for some period of time. It could be a short period of time, or it could be a number of days. And so just make sure that you have the supplies that are needed to ensure that you will be able to have access to everything that you need for a day or two until your power could be restored.
And that's the most important. It's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, and you definitely want to be prepared for, I'd say, a week of power outages possibly. If you were here in Houston back in 2008 and you went through Hurricane Ike, this could be reminiscent of that. Now, along the coast for places like Galveston, you're going to feel those impacts a little bit sooner, and you have another layer of threat. You have that threat for, you can see 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. So still, though, the storm surge for a place like Galveston going to be the biggest threat, 3 to 5 feet there. Now, people are already getting ready. We've already seen lines of people at places like, those big box stores getting their water, getting their supplies to board up their homes and get prepared ahead of Laura. And that's what you need to be doing today. But another message from local officials, we do have people evacuating from coastal places. So for Houstonians, get what you need, get out, get your preps, and then get home and stay home. This isn't the day to kind of be out and about because people are trying to make it into those away from those evacuation zones. So I-45, I-10, you know, you just have to keep that in mind, and keep in mind that people are trying to evacuate, and we want to unclog those roads. Now, Carl, as mentioned, Houston just kind of right on the fringe of that cone, but as we know, the cone just represents anywhere that center could track. The impacts are going to be felt well outside of that cone. So in terms of landfall, we want to kind of pinpoint the area that could be seeing landfall.
Yeah, you know, there's more and more evidence that is pointing towards that intersection of Texas and Louisiana near the Sabine River, near Beaumont and Port Arthur. Certainly looks like it is headed in that direction. That is the latest forecast track from the Hurricane Center as of the 11 a.m. advisory. We've got a new one coming out in 1 hour from the National Hurricane Center, and we'll see if they've made any changes to that forecast. And again, as Felicia mentioned, it's really important for you to not think of this cone as an impacts cone. You often hear, well, we're in the cone, we're not in the cone. That doesn't matter, because the cone is only showing you where the center of the storm is likely to be, along with the average forecast error, which grows over time. But effects can be felt well outside of that cone, and that is definitely going to be the case with this storm because it is a larger storm. Now, one thing that we have seen between today and yesterday is a shift in the model guidance just a little bit farther to the west. You see today's model runs in yellow relative to yesterday's runs in red there, so just a little bit of shifting. And what the models are trying to resolve is how strong is this area of high pressure. It's going around the western periphery, the western edge of that area of high pressure. How strong is it? And so on a hemispheric scale, this is a really subtle difference, but it makes all the difference in the world in terms of who gets what. And this is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center showing you the wind fields here, that core of the storm taking aim on, again, Beaumont and Port Arthur and Lake Charles, maybe passing just to the east of Houston. That is not set at this point, but there is more and more evidence that's pointing in this direction, including a recent run of the European model, which has shown very much this type of scenario. So I also want to show you the GFS model, which is very similar, and it shows the core of the storm coming up into the upper Texas coast, maybe passing just to the east of Houston. And what that would mean is this significant onshore flow over a very large area of the Louisiana coastline. And so we are talking about storm surge values that are way up there, 9 to 13 feet of storm surge. If you're anywhere near the coast, when that happens, you will not survive it. So you've got to listen to your local officials in this case. Felicia, let's go back out to you.
Yeah, Carl, that's so very important, listening to the local officials. One, staying home if you are not in that evacuation zone to clear up the roads, but then evacuating if you're told to evacuate. Now, currently, Carl, the forecast is for a major hurricane, a Category 3, but certainly it is not out of the realm of possibility that this could be stronger than a Category 3 storm.
There doesn't appear to be a lot standing in the way of this intensifying storm. You know, for one thing, you've got very warm ocean waters, and what we know is that all other factors being equal, if you've got more warmth in the ocean, then you've got more potential energy being delivered to the storm. So you see water temperatures here in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees in the western part of the Gulf, and it's not just at the surface. This is important also. This is heat content in the ocean, and so you've got warm water at the surface, but if it's cooler below, the hurricane will churn up that cooler water, and that can mitigate the potential energy somewhat. But if it's warmer below, then you've got this sort of limitless supply of warm water, which warms the air, and that fuels the hurricane. So that's what we've got here in the northwestern Gulf. On top of that, you've got this sprawling area of high pressure, very light winds aloft. When we look at the satellite picture tomorrow, as the storm is approaching, I think we're going to be looking at an outflow pattern where clouds are spreading out in all directions here. It's going to be a sort of classic look to the satellite because there's so little in the way of wind shear, and that is optimal for strengthening. So that too is supportive of the idea of there being some rapid intensification. There is some dry air lurking. It is especially dry off to the east, and some of that has actually been wrapping into the center of the storm. But you notice here that where it may have gotten into the dead center of the storm, now thunderstorms are wrapping around the bottom side of of that circulation, and that's often the case that storms can fend that off and sort of beat that back. So we've got the dry air around the circulation, but it may be that you've got an envelope of this warm and humid air, and it manages to just keep that intact as it's moving to the northwest. So we can hope that the dry air infiltrates the system to some extent, but we certainly cannot count on it. And at this point, all the indications are that we're going to be looking at a major hurricane, a very strong storm, and Tevin, a very large storm. So even if there were some deviation to the left and we saw more of the core of the storm getting closer to Houston, that would not mean that places like Lake Charles would be off the hook. By no means would it mean that, because it is such a large storm.
Yeah, Carl, that's exactly correct. And I want people to know that a center of a hurricane, that's just one spot. There are so many other parts or functions or components of a hurricane that can be damaging, if not destructive, for your neighborhood or for your town. And guess what? One of those places, Lake Charles, Louisiana, to the east of the likely center of this storm, depending on which computer model forecast you look at here, we've got the threat of storm surge. And look, folks, here's the thing. A lot of different waterways connecting not only Lake Charles and Calcasieu Parish, but also all the way up north into Moss Bluff and south as well to Cameron Parish. I want to show you here, we're along the beachfront area of the Golden Nugget Hotel, Casino, and Resort, and you can hear the water picking up. This isn't coming from any sort of storm surge or anything like that. This is actually because a boat just went through. We've seen some tug boats and also shrimp boats come through throughout the day today. But one concern will be throughout this part of the state and in southwestern Louisiana to the eastern side of this storm that, keep in mind, rotates in a counterclockwise fashion. It's going to bring up that storm surge and bring in the wind and the water from the south and pump it all the way towards the north, such that it will be very likely that this beachfront area will be covered in maybe 2, 3, 4 feet of water. But guess what? That's not even the worst forecast or the worst reasonable forecast that we've seen out there. Some spots of the Louisiana Gulf Coast in Cameron Parish, 9 to 13 feet of water above normally dry ground. This is why folks are getting prepared. This is why evacuations are ongoing today. Jackie.
Yeah, Tevin, you know, there you are in Lake Charles, 30 miles away from the Gulf of Mexico, and evacuations are underway right there in Lake Charles. So this really tells you how widespread those impacts are, and those tropical storm force winds extend out about 175 miles from the center of the storm, and that's well outside of that cone. And that could be, depending on the convection and where all that develops, that could be on any side from the center where that 175 miles stretches out. Now, this storm will go inland, and this is going to be far-reaching. This is going to go through the Mid-South. This is going to go through the Tennessee River Valley. This is going to go through the Mid-Atlantic and even potentially impact parts of New England. We've got Boston. We've got New York City. We've got Philadelphia, D.C., Raleigh, Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, all within the cone. So this is going to stick with us through the weekend. Now, this is a look at our current forecast track and where we think the strongest the winds are going to be. Take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, because as we've been seeing that little westerly push with some of the models, that could nudge farther to the west. It could also nudge a little farther off towards the east. But I think the big selling point, so to speak, of this graphic is to show you that this is a large storm, and it's a very strong storm, we think, at landfall. And so when it continues to move, as opposed to slowing down when it makes landfall, it takes a little bit longer for it to spin back down, meaning those winds are going to be strong in Shreveport. We're talking 60+ miles per hour. Strong in Little Rock, we're talking 40+ miles per hour. So all these areas need to be prepared. While you're not going to be dealing with storm surge there, you have to be prepared to lose power, and you need to be prepared to lose power for potentially between 3 and 7 days, just in case. So Shreveport, a city that's going to be feeling impacts through the day on Thursday. Your rainfall forecast is between 3 and 5 inches of rainfall, easily getting those 40 to 60 mile per hour gusts. Inland flooding is going to be an issue, especially right along and to the right of where the center makes landfall. And notice the worst of that, we think, could be going into the hilly terrain of Arkansas. So flash flooding could be a real issue here. Then it's going to trek through the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, and widespread 1 to 2 inches can be expected throughout that region. A few spots could see locally heavier amounts. And keep in mind, we've had a lot of rain into the mid-Atlantic. We've had a lot of rain in places like West Virginia. So watching this kind of moisture coming through with a tropical system, not to mention the enhancement with a cold front that's going to go through, is not necessarily good news. Here's a look at the rainfall forecast for you, Little Rock. I mentioned the 40+ mile per hour wind gusts, a real probability. Latest models bring the heaviest rainfall on the west side of town, but be prepared for 3 to 5 inches of rain. Well, time is running out, and I tell you, today is really the day for people to be prepared. So get your mask, get your sanitizer, get all the supplies that you need. COVID-19, of course, is making this hurricane season unlike any other. Evacuations are already underway in places like Galveston, where mandatory evacuation has now been issued. This new video is showing you highways that are beginning to fill up with cars that are heading off the island. Earlier, Austin, Texas officials shared what they're telling evacuees heading their way from the Texas Gulf Coast.
On the buses that we're sending to support, we will have additional mask and hand sanitizer and the proper PPE. And the shelters that we are opening up in the hotel room, the reception centers, we will have those resources as well. So I think we're going to handle this very well as it relates to the COVID-19 environment. The most important thing is the people and the pets. Nobody should be staying at home because they don't think they can evacuate with their pet. A lot of our hotels and a lot of our shelters will have pet-friendly environments. And really, we've got to get that message home. We are prepared for this. We need our citizens to listen to the local elected officials, and together we'll get through this storm.
Yeah, take care of your people, take care of your pets, make sure everybody is okay. It's so important to evacuate if you're told to do so, and if you can stay put if you're not in an evacuation zone, that's helpful too, because it reduces traffic on the streets so people can get out there and do what they need. You know, evacuation is not an easy thing. Felicia Combs in Houston, and you know, we had huge issues with evacuations from Hurricane Rita back in 2005. Hopefully we've learned lessons from there and people really heed these warnings today.
Yeah, Jackie, you know, we spoke with the mayor of Houston earlier today, and he was saying it's the fourth most populous city in the country. It's not easy to evacuate Houston. And right now, that is not the case. They are not telling Houstonians to evacuate. In fact, they're telling Houstonians stay off the road because we have evacuees from other places that are trying to get away from where they're coming from. They're trying to get to a more safe area. So that is the advice. Get your preps done in Houston and then stay home if you can. Now, one place that does have those mandatory evacuation orders, that is Beaumont, Texas. And our Dave Malkoff was there, and he spoke with some people who are having to evacuate during this COVID-19 crisis as well. And it certainly is a different hurricane season than we've ever seen.
The mass evacuation of Beaumont, Texas is underway, an area that has already been recently devastated by Harvey, then Imelda. These folks aren't taking any chances. They're coming here to Westbrook High School so they can get a wristband. They get put into the computer system, wait a few minutes, and then sent on their way.
They say mandatory, time to go.
But I'm from Louisiana. I've sat through many hurricanes, but this time, new place, can't swim.
Well, the biggest concern about being in a shelter with a lot of people is just the kids getting sick. So, I mean, as long as they maintaining the social distance part and everything, and the hygiene, clean hygiene, I think we'll be okay.
You'll see a red X on every other row here on the charter bus, leaving it half full for social distancing. Every time a bus fills up, they head over to San Antonio, and then when the shelters fill up there, they head on to Austin. In the short period of time we have been here, they've already filled up 3 buses. In Beaumont, Texas, Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
And the man at the beginning of the story, I think he hit the nail right on the head. They say mandatory, time to go. They make these choices of who to evacuate very carefully. So if you are in that mandatory evacuation, keep in mind that once the storm reaches a certain level, you're on your own. The rescue officials cannot come out any longer, and that's why it's so important to prepare ahead of time. For a lot of people, today's your last day to get prepared.
Water?
Water tastes like water, so we fixed it. Mio.
Valspar's signature holds up to common stains and cleans up easy. Discover what's possible at Lowe's.
DiGiorno has 7 delicious crusts, and your family food critics will rave. Rising Crust is fresh baked deliciousness. Stuffed Crust is literally mouth-watering. There's a 5-star pizza for everyone in your family to love. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life, posing a real threat to your comfort and safety. When the power goes out, you have no lights, no refrigeration, no heating or air conditioning. Your well or sump pump won't work. Your modern daily electronics are rendered useless. And what if the power's out for days or weeks? Are you prepared? You can be with a Generac home standby generator.
24 days we were without power. I had water, I had ice, I had coffee, I had air conditioner. I was able to stay here because of Generac.
When an outage occurs, your Generac home standby generator automatically powers up, so your life goes on without disruption. You and your family are comfortable, safe, and secure. Generac generators run on your home's existing natural gas or propane. And Generac's standard Mobile Link remote monitoring system keeps you posted on operating status, maintenance updates, and more. Generac generators are designed, engineered, and purpose-built in the USA. Generac is the #1 manufacturer of home standby generators in the world. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac, with thousands of satisfied customers.
Very good product, very, very good reviews from everybody.
Prices start at just $19.99, and special financing is available with surprisingly affordable monthly payments. Call now to schedule your free in-home assessment with one of Generac's 6,000 nationwide dealers. The call is free, the assessment is free, and there's no obligation to buy. Plus, if you act now, you'll receive a 7-year extended warranty absolutely free. That's a $695 value. Call now, so the next time there's a power outage, your home powers up. Power your life with Generac. Call or go online to schedule your free in-home assessment today.
When you've got auto glass damage, Safe Light can come to you.
And you'll get a text when we're on our way. Just leave your keys on the dash, and we'll replace your windshield with safe, no-contact service.
Why do I keep falling asleep during the day? What's making me so tired? I kept asking myself these questions. It felt like I was more than tired. Then I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. There are 5 major symptoms. I waited too long to take action, but you don't have to. Visit morethantired.com now. Take the Narcolepsy Symptom Screener and find a sleep specialist to share your results. Don't wait. Visit morethantired.com today.
Guarantee. Get the right part for the right price right now at carparts.com.
It's almost unbelievable this is real.
When your cameras roll, our experts react.
Jaw-dropping.
An all-new season of Weather Gone Viral, Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect. Currently in our area, 83 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 64. Chance of rain, 60%. Wednesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 83. Chance of rain, 50%. Wednesday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 67. Winds light and variable. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hurricane season doesn't stop for a pandemic, and neither do we.
Be ready for impacts well beyond the center of the hurricane.
Don't let COVID-19 take your eye off the tropics. This year's threat is more complex and dangerous than ever before.
Remain vigilant, pay close attention to the Weather Channel.
No one can cover this historic hurricane season better than the Weather Channel. Get the information you need to stay safe every day. Storm safety in a pandemic, all season long, right here on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back into continuing coverage of Hurricane Laura. And of course, we want you to be prepared. That is the most important part ahead of one of these storms, especially when you're talking about a major hurricane forecast to make landfall somewhere around the northwestern Gulf Coast. I'm meteorologist Felicia Combs coming to you live from Houston, where people have been getting prepared. Now, Houston just outside of the cone, just to the west of the cone. However, Houston is under a tropical storm warning. I want to echo the pleas of local officials here in Houston, as that is for Houstonians to get what they need, get your preparation supplies, and then stay home, because we do have people trying to evacuate from the coastal areas going through Houston. Traffic is already a problem in Houston, and then you throw in evacuees trying to make it through. So the best thing we can do in Houston is just stay off the roads as much as you can. Now, Houston, as mentioned, is under a tropical storm warning, and you may say, well, why do we have tropical storm warnings? It's a hurricane now, right? And that's because the National Hurricane Center warns for the expected conditions. And right now, with this current forecast, tropical storm conditions expected here in the Houston area. But Tevin, expecting worse conditions for a place like Lake Charles, where you guys will be dealing with that threat of storm surge and then also those hurricane conditions.
Yeah, Felicia, very real threats here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and residents of this area know all too well what can or cannot happen in some cases with tropical systems and with hurricanes. In fact, take a look at some of the video here. I think today was really go time for a lot of people. I saw them out at about 8:30 this morning, closer to 9 o'clock when I was out, going to different stores, getting gas, getting that last-minute lumber run to board up some of your windows, the supplies and generators as well, because people know that if you are without power here, it's also hot, too. Let's be frank and honest. It's very sticky. The dew points are in the 70s today. We'll likely see that tomorrow as well. So this isn't just some, one and done system, likely to be without power for some time as well. So you do have to anticipate that. The other thing that we are watching here, and it's very difficult to really prep for, so that's why we see people evacuate inland, and they're going to have to go far inland in some cases because of the storm surge threat, Carl, where some 50 miles from the Gulf of Mexico entrance, we're looking at the possibility of 6 to 10 feet of water rise above normally dry ground, and that stretches all the way between Moss Bluff here in Lake Charles and through the bayou as well. Carl.
Yeah, everything pointing towards it being very tough there in southwest Louisiana. Tevin, thank you. Laura will likely produce life-threatening storm surge. Hurricane expert Dr. Greg Postel has a dramatic demonstration of why it's so dangerous.
Laura is expected to be a major hurricane at landfall along the Texas and Louisiana coast. We know there's going to be significant wind along with it. Also, there's going to be significant storm surge flooding. Let's have a look at the storm surge maps produced by the National Hurricane Center, giving you an idea of the reasonable worst-case scenario for how much water you can expect above normally dry ground. Look at all these regions that could be underwater, even well north of I-10. Let's even have a closer look at some of the areas in and around Lake Charles. For example, this is the Lake Charles Civic Center. 6 to 9 feet of flooding could inundate the entire region. And just north of there, well, let's have a look at the city courthouse, where more than 9 feet of flooding could occur. How about the airport just to the south? There may be well over 9 feet in a very large area, completely flooding the region. This is exactly why you need to evacuate. I'm not going to stop there. Let me show you what that looks like. Just a couple of inches of water can knock you off balance, and a couple of feet of water can send a car floating away. When you have that storm surge rise up to 3 feet, too late to evacuate. You need to shelter in place. All kinds of stuff could be in this water. Dangerous wildlife, or even cars and objects with enough force moving around to act like a battering ram and knock down walls and even buildings. But we know there's going to be storm surge flooding above that. Let's go to 6 feet. How about that? 6 feet of water rise. You better move to the highest floor of a building. That's the only way to survive. And unfortunately, there are going to be places that get more than 6 feet. How about 9 feet of storm surge and even more than that? This is not survivable, and this is why you need to evacuate when told to do so. So please follow the updates from the National Hurricane Center and pay attention to those evacuation orders when issued. This is a very dangerous scenario unfolded, and please stay safe.
All right, Greg, thank you. And let's take a look at the storm surge forecast from the National Hurricane Center. And by the way, new forecast package coming from them at 5 o'clock. So just about a half an hour from now, if not before then, we'll get some updated numbers from the Hurricane Center, but probably not a huge amount of change here. And we're looking for life-threatening storm surge anywhere from Galveston Bay on eastward towards the Bolivar Peninsula. You see there in southwest Louisiana, 9 to 13 feet of surge. So places like Cameron, Louisiana, that was a town that was devastated by Rita and also hit very hard by Ike in 2008. And so they suffered a 79% drop in population after those storms. But there are still some people there. And if you are asked to leave, make sure you listen to local officials and get out.
This summer, we've all got miles to make up. Miles to the job site, to the campsite, and anything else we set our sights on. Miles back to those who can make this summer mean more than ever. We can help you get the most out of those miles during the Ram Labor Day sales event.
Right now, get $7,300 in total values on the 2020 Ram 1500. Shop and buy online at ram.com.
Breakfast wants you back. Try Just Crack an Egg, packed with real potatoes, veggies, meat, and cheese. Just add a fresh egg for a hot scramble in less than 2 minutes to get those warm, fuzzy feelings again. Take breakfast back. Find it in the egg aisle.
Is there a